Okay, a quick instruction video on starting our whole tools and small two-stroke engines. First step is to mix your fuel. Our units come with a handy fuel bottle. It's got instructions on how to fill it on the back. On the front it will have a graduation mark, so you fill it with petrol to the 576 number, then top the bottle up with two-stroke oil till it gets to the 600 ml mark. Give it a shake and it's ready to use. You then need to put fuel into your fuel tank. Make sure your fuel cap is put back on and tight. Okay, next step. If you put your finger through this cutout, there is a primer bowl. Pump it probably half a dozen times. Then check. When fuel has run through, you'll see the primer bowl will actually be full of fuel. And you'll feel the bulb will actually get a lot stiffer and harder to push. Took a few more pumps on this particular one. Now fuel showing in the bowl. Next step, make sure your choke is in the cold position, so twist it upwards. Once you start the motor and let it run for a few moments, switch that back to the run position. It's in cold. That's your ignition switch. It has on it stop is forwards, so that will be stop and the engine will stop. Back is on. This is your throttle. You won't be able to activate it unless you're either pushing down on the dead man switch, then you can pull the throttle and rev the engine up. You shouldn't need to do that while you're starting, so you can just leave that alone. So you've got fuel, your choke is in the cold position, your ignition is on, and the unit should be ready to start. Grab your starter. I find I put my foot on there just to hold it in place. You probably need to pull it 3, maybe 4 times to get fuel running through it. After you've pulled it a few times, it will be harder on the very first time you try and start it. And you can hear it starting to kick, as it did then. It was almost starting. You can put the choke to the run position and try and start it again. If it's almost firing, you might need to put it back onto the cold position again. You may even need to pull the throttle a little, but we'll just try it in cold. Almost fired, back into run. At that particular time, I did need to pull the trigger to get it started. Once the engine's warmed up, or once it's run in and you've put a few tanks of fuel through it, probably won't need to use the throttle to start it.